Ayo, it's 5 rounds, 5 topics a season. Home of the most controversial opinions. Dropping each round on a Friday. If you're about the top trends, then it's our way. So make sure you subscribe. Believe it or not, the vibe is out here. Whereby the peeps can talk with no fear. Hey, what's the name of the podcast right here? What's happening? This the vibe right here. Pandies be the tribe right here. We about to go live right here. If you're talking about the rounds, then it's 5 right here. What's happening? This the vibe right here. Pandies be the tribe right here. We about to go live right here. If you're talking about the rounds, then it's 5 right here. Hey, yo, hit the like button. You know I'll be checking. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to 5 Rounds. I am One Tally. We've got Mr. Ovi2 Nice in the building.
Good evening, and how are you today? As you have already heard, my name. Happy Friday! Oh, it's a Friday, man. If you've got a problem, it's not my problem. Yo. Anyway, welcome to the show. And how are you doing? Because I'm very good.
I am very good, sir. I am very, very good, sir. Thank you very much. Gunjan says, where's RB? I don't know where RB is, boss. Might be in the comments. He's also asked what your drink is going. Right, guys, 5 rounds. If you're new here, guys, if you like culture, vibes, laughter, you know, opinions with a hint of drama and controversies, this is your channel. Make sure you are subscribed. You know what I mean? Some people take a little bit longer to subscribe, but you know, if you like the content, watch maybe 2 or 3 other videos. You like that? Subscribe, man. We're trying to grow the channel. We're at 1,590 subscribers, trying to get to 1,600. Easy target. Right. Today, guys, it's the roundup. Right, so we did promise that we will do a roundup probably every month to just look around what's going on in the world, what's going on social media, and you know, bring it to the community and see what you guys think, what you think of what's going on in the world. So, without further ado, right, I'm gonna go with the first one. Let me share my screen right quick. So it's the one to do with this thing that New York, in New York, they're coming up with this law to block algorithms that are targeting children. Yeah, so at night, basically. So the headline is New York's created solution to targeting children online. Right. So this article, I'll read it a little bit. So New York could soon become the first state to pass a new law restricting social media platforms from using algorithms to promote content to minors. Yeah, so you know those notifications you get from social media websites, you know, oh, look what this person did, or you know, stuff that you're not even following. Basically, they're trying to limit that for children. Yeah. New York Democratic Governor Kathy Hochul and state lawmakers are nearing a legislative deal on the proposal, according to a person familiar with the matter. The bill would push platforms such as TikTok and Meta's Instagram to rank content in chronological order by default for young users, right? So basically, they're gonna get the platforms to rank this order by age, you know, like what's suitable for this age, basically. That could mean go on.
Meaning that you won't be getting, do you want to meet someone in your area?
That's for children. just for children, buddy. Oh my gosh.
I went to verify, you know, that maybe are we not going to be getting, do you want to meet someone in your area?
Oh, you mean like the advert? That's just, I don't know what this is. I don't know what this is.
That's on your PC. Huh? What is that one doing there?
No,
it's not. Oh my God. So that could mean significant changes to how kids in New York int- interact with social media apps and could make al- um, algorithmically fuck's sake algorithm.
Hey! Do me a favor, please. Do me a favor,
Do me
please.
a favor, please. Get out of here.
Cut, cut, cut,
Get
cut,
out of here, man.
cut,
Shit, I'm saying.
cut, cut.
Where's the camera? I'm looking at the camera. Hey. All right, let's try this again. Algorithmically. Nah, nah. I don't know why they use that word. Algorithmically. Whatever. Okay, algorithmically generated content feeds and feeds an opt-in experience requiring parental consent. So let me read this. No, actually, the looming legislative agreement also includes a separate measure that seeks to protect children's privacy. The person added, as as currently written, that bill would restrict websites from collecting or sharing the personal data of users under the age of 18, expanding on existing federal privacy protection for children under 13. Right? A tentative deal a tentative deal on the social media bill was earlier reported by the Wall Street Journal. The agreement covering children's privacy has not been previously reported. Okay, so obviously it goes further to expand on what else is going on, but I thought I'd bring this here because we've spoken about something like this, the effect of social media on society. If you haven't checked that one out, check it out after this. So we were speaking about how, what measures are in place to protect children, protect people that shouldn't really be seeing content that's out there. As you've noticed, I think X have said, oh, we're going to allow adult content on our platform, and everyone's going like, what are you talking about? It's already there. Do you know what I mean? They're like, it's weird. It's like McDonald's saying, "Oh yeah, we officially sell the Big Mac." Yeah, you've been selling it. Do you know what I mean? So yeah. Well, this one is for X, or AKA Twitter. Like,
So, do me a favor, please. Get out of here.
But listen,
Yeah, man. Shit, I'm saying.
so this is how what I'm trying to understand. How would this PC know? I don't know this system. How would it know that this is a minor using this thing?
it might ask for your age when you're signing up. So actually, when you're setting up a social media profile, it asks for your age, isn't it? Yeah, it does. So it will ask for your age. So, but people can lie, isn't it? People can easily just,
Exactly. And
yeah.
another thing I have to find out, like social media. So you're saying this is for X?
No, it's
Let me
every
just
every
every
platform.
platform. So it's only social media platforms, yeah?
Mm.
Can you sign? Does it? I thought like maybe platforms have got a age limit of when you can sign up. So any age, what's the minimum age you can sign up for Facebook? For to find out
You
that.
know what? Let's find out. The
For Facebook, for X, for
Yeah,
TikTok.
for social media platforms. Let's find out. We'll find out in a minute. Let's see. Media.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So let's see. I think countries will be different, but you know,
Yes.
it depends.
Yeah.
It depends. Yeah. So what? So why are you asking that question?
Because I just want to have an idea of
So the
what
minute.
what. Uh-huh.
Go on, sir.
So I can know what I'm trying to think about is when it's saying that for minors, right? What ages are they trying to target? You know what I mean? Because this is a social media, so I want to understand if the minimum of is
It's
I would
13.
assume I thought like maybe the likes of Facebook X and all that they have a minimum of saying that if you're under the age, maybe if you're not a teenager, or you should be over 12 or something like that for you to actually what
Yeah.
to actually
The minimum
you
age is
know
13. So the minimum age to open an account on nearly every social media platform, such as TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, Pinterest, Kick, YouTube, Snapchat, and Facebook, is 13. However, WhatsApp recently changed its terms and conditions for users in Europe, requiring them to be the age of 16. These age restrictions
Okay.
are part due to laws like the Children's Online Privacy Protection Act (COPPA) in the United States and the GDPR, so General Data Protection Regulation in Europe in the European Union, which aim to
Okay.
protect children's privacy online. Gunjan here says, I am
So
27 and I still don't have access to adult content. Keep it that way, brother. Keep it that way. Keep
yeah,
it that way.
no, Kunshan, you should call your network provider. They can unblock it for you because you've probably been trying and it wasn't letting you. So that's the tip there now. Okay, you can call your provider and they'll unblock it for you if you're trying to access it. And you tonight it means that you'll be on fire. Thank me later.
Emotional, damn it.
Thank me later.
Uh-huh.
so so what we're saying here. So every social media platform is 18,
13.
right?
13.
Oh, 13.
Yeah, 1 3. So you can join once you turn 13, you can join any social media platform. So then what they're trying to
Okay.
bring, I think from 13 to about 16, there's things in place to block. So these things are already there for 13-year-olds. So from 13 to
Uh-huh.
16, there are things in place that stop you from getting all these unnecessary notifications or going to the wrong place or ending up seeing the wrong content. Because the concern here is they've noticed a rise in depression, addiction to social media, and antisocial behavior and all these things. So um, they're trying to raise the bar to 16 because these laws are already in place for 13.
Mm.
Um, so what do you think though? Is this the right thing to do? Is it that why are they saying okay now forget 13 now 16? Or is it that if you
First
had
of all,
your chat OJ, yeah, are you
yeah,
going to give OJ access to social media at 13 years old?
I wouldn't, but like it's yeah, you'll have to be stupid if you think they're not going to, because the reality of it is unless you're not going to have them a phone, if they're not going to have a phone or a tablet or anything like that, you know what I mean? Uh, that's first the reality. Like I think there are a bunch of clowns, all of them thinking they will be able to try to control that, because when you're opening a social media account, they never ask you to verify with an identity to say that this is your age. So I know every single person that is on social media
Mm.
that is a minor. I doubt I can bet money on it. I doubt anyone that is under the age of 16 or 17 actually put their real age when they're trying to open that account. I will doubt it.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah, I would put money on it. 95% never said their real age.
really? So you did the same thing?
I know, no, I know. I don't mean like at my age, I'm an adult anyway, so I have no point of registering an account. I should lie my age. What's the point? Like, that would just be being stupid about it. But I mean, anyone that is a minor, obviously they know that if someone is gonna open a social media account, they want to see all. So I can put money 95% of any minor that is on social media for them to
Yeah,
set up that account. They never say their real age.
yeah. And also for people like you and me, social media wasn't there when we were kids. It came when we were a little bit older, isn't it? So,
Yeah.
um, yeah. No, fair enough. Gunjan says, what did he say? So Gunjan says, the internet provider blocked all these websites. A moment of silence for Gunjan.
Yeah, but good.
Sorry, Gunjan. Sorry, Gunjan. Oh my gosh.
Good. But
So
Gunjan, we have helped you with a solution. You ring your internet provider, they can unblock it. They just do it for privacy purposes so that you are allowed to access it. Simple phone call. Just make a phone call. Tell them it's you. You're the owner of the account. Maybe if you're ashamed that you want to tell them that you want to be looking at a pornographic material, just tell them that you're trying to go on a betting site and it's not working. Because once they block Pornhub, you can't also go on betting sites. So you can lie that way, you know.
this guy knows the tricks. He
No, I
knows the
know the trick because no, because I worked on the other side of this table. I worked on the other side, the receiving end in technical support. So I experienced this when people were ringing and say, "Oh, just I was trying to do a bet there and I can't go on the betting side." And I'll be on the side. I'm like, "Yeah, right. You tried to bet, all right." And I'll be like, "Yeah, don't worry. I'm gonna block that for you." He's like, "Yeah, yeah, thanks very much." I need to get that bet in. I said, "All right."
Oh
You know
man.
what I mean?
Oh
Yeah.
man. Yeah. So what? So you think basically this law, people will find a way around it? I mean, I think it.
It's a stupid law. I think it's a waste of time because probably a bunch of people are going to have to sit down and make this law. Yes,
Mm,
they're going to
that's
waste their time, their
a good one.
energy, their money. You know what I mean? For something that is not going to make any difference. That's the reality of it. You know what I mean?
That's fair. That's a fair point.
I think so. I don't know if you'd have the same view, but to me, I personally think that
I think it's a
hey,
good step.
we're go-
I think it's a good
it's a
step.
good step.
You
Yeah,
know
we're
why?
going.
Because social media companies, they haven't done this well to this extent. They've done it for 13-year-olds, yeah, but to this extent. So the fact that local governments or whoever can say, you know what, in my constituency or my state, I don't want children up to the age of this viewing this content, and then they're also saying, I want you to block notifications. So your algorithm has to block certain notifications coming to these people, and also stop them between this time and this time. I think it's a good thing. It's a good discussion to have, with um, with these social media companies, basically. It's
Well,
a control measure because the
it's
internet
a
is kind
good.
of wild.
I think it's a useless control measure. To be like, I know, like everybody, like your view, my view, to me, think. So they're sitting out there, they're saying, okay, we're going to put this law. So anyone who's under a minor, we're going to be blocking their browsing ways. So every
Mm,
minor is going to know that, all right, all I got to do is just put that I'm over 18. That's it. You don't need to verify anything else. All you got to do is just change your age to say, oh, yeah, I was born anytime after 2000 and what, 2025?
mm,
2005 going
mm.
upwards. Am I right?
Yep,
And you're sorted,
yep.
you know?
It's a
So,
it's a mad one. It's a mad one.
yeah, it
Um,
is. I think it's like when you open some sites and they ask you, are you sure you're over 18? I know, like, you're going to say, no, I'm not.
mm. Then put your card details.
Yeah, no, no, no. Are you sure you're over 18? Like, yeah, I'm trying to open Pornhub here. No, I'm gonna say no, I'm not 18. Damn it. So that's
Uh,
the same. It's the same thing what they're trying to do there. You know what I mean? Like, it's not a measure that can really make a difference. I really don't think it'll make any difference. It's a good idea, but some of this shit we're in too deep. We just have to leave them as the way they are, and let's accept that.
that's fair.
That just control your mind if you want to do it any other way.
That's fair. That's fair. That's fair. Guys in the chat, I want to ask you, what do you guys think? Do you think this is a good idea? Do you think, this will actually prevent kids from viewing content that they shouldn't be viewing or getting notifications sent to them? Sometimes it's content that they want to see, but then getting these notifications at crazy hours of the night, keeping them up and all these things. Do you know what I mean? The second question is, have you liked the video? If not, come on, like the video, please. Thank you very much. Let's move this on. So next one. Next one. Let's talk about this P Diddy thing, or Diddy Puffy.
Puff Daddy, Puff
Puff,
Daddy.
Puff Daddy, Papa Diddy Pop. The man that has been at the center of controversy recently. For people that are not familiar with this Diddy thing, right? So first, let's start with who he is. So
First of all, before you go on, if you are not familiar with it, I gotta do, but just don't ever walk outside. Don't ever walk outside your house. Just stay inside your house. And I don't know, like, you shouldn't do anything with your life. Your life is ruined if you are
what?
not aware of it. You are no, like, what are you doing, man? Come on, man. You are catastrophic. If you don't know about it, you are catastrophic. Your life is very, very sad.
Oh my God.
Sorry to
Okay,
tell you.
so P Diddy, right? Ovi, do you want to tell these people who P Diddy is?
Papa Papa P Diddy.
Mhm.
P Diddy, guys, he is the co-founder of Bad Boys Entertainment. Is it entertainment? Is it Bad Boys Entertainment? Or is it Bad Boys? Just Bad
Bad
Boys.
Boy
It's Bad Boys
Entertainment.
Entertainment.
Bad
Bad
Boy.
Boy Entertainment. The man that found Biggie Smalls, the man that brought us Cassie, the man that brought us Mace. No,
G Dep,
he
G
eh?
Dep,
Yes,
uh,
that
Mary J, Jodeci,
man, that guy just Asha.
Asha, mentored Nicki Minaj. He has quite a rap when it comes to entertainment. He was the face of Ciroc. He brought
Yeah.
Revolt TV. What else? What else? What else? What else? The man who was dancing in your videos.
And if you do dancing, I produce a dancing in your videos.
Go to that, bro.
Yeah, good, bro.
So yeah, you
Yeah,
get the gist. I mean, back in the day, if you were
one of the
wearing
biggest music producers as well. Anyway,
exactly, if you remember the label Sean John, that was P Diddy. So one of the
Perfume.
biggest and most successful music moguls, of the decade, the century, like for time basically, and he's been
Yeah,
dominating the charts in some capacity for a very long time. So this his life is on the internet right now. So he's been caught in a lot of controversy. So I just wanted to break down what went down, and then we can sort of talk about it. I think this will be the first time we speak about this. So P Diddy currently, well, he's in a legal battle with several people. He's being investigated for things like drug trafficking, violence, and abuse. What is it? Trafficking. There's a few things. Also, some of them
sexual
are
assault.
sexual assault. That's another one. So I'll start from where the drama started. Yeah. So last year, November 2023, Cassie, his former girlfriend, filed a lawsuit. In this lawsuit, she accused Diddy of years of abuse, including one instance of rape. Right. Um, so this lawsuit was settled in 24 hours. Yeah. So this is the first part. What were your thoughts, Ovi, when you saw this? Cassie sued this guy, and then within 24 hours, boom, settlement. What was it, $30 million or something?
Yeah,
Settlement.
30 million.
For people who don't know what a settlement is, so this was probably a civil case. So she probably took it to civil court, or I don't know. The American law is a little bit different. Well, the American court system is a little bit different. So she took him to court. So they will have presented this case to the lawyer, to Diddy's lawyer. They'd have looked at
Yeah,
everything and thought, you know what? There's no point fighting this case. Let's just settle. Part of the settlement means
yeah,
they can never sue him for those things they presented to him, right?
yeah.
Um, so it was on social media. It was being reported. What was the settlement figure? It was about 30 million, I think it was.
Yeah, about 30 million that was settled.
Yeah, yeah. So Diddy came out and said, "Oh, I don't like the fact that people are telling lies on me. I just, had to quash it straight away." What were your thoughts
Yeah,
over it?
for him, no, for him, no, this is what he tried to say. He said, look, he just didn't want all the trouble just to put people his name in the bad books anyway for something that he hasn't done, so he chose to settle. But first of all, when somebody tries to settle, it means they understand that I'm in the fucking wrong. Simple and straightforward. That's the reality of it. But that's the reality. If anywhere you go, you bring it to clear court, and somebody wants to settle, he knows that now I'm fucked. I'm fucked. And right now I've bent over and it's coming. You know what I mean? So that's the first thing. When he said he settled, of course it wasn't as big. No, it was big because the thing she was suing your man it was unfortunate, And obviously I know I understand that time a lot of people kind of say, she's just looking for money, which was wrong, you know what I mean? My side, I wasn't thinking she was looking for money. I knew that this thing has happened, and
There's no smoke without fire. I mean, for years,
exactly,
money.
yeah, exactly. a lot of people like they said, "Oh, Cassie's just looking for money, maybe because they're not working, they're still working out." And anyway, he said, "Oh, that's $30 million into her pocket. She's a happy woman now. She's got a nice boyfriend, and
Happy.
she,
Anyway,
that's it.
anyway,
She look,
there were rumors that she didn't want to press charges, like she was afraid of taking him to court, basically.
yes, true. But when she did, then he settled,
Yeah.
and
Yeah, straight away when I saw that personally, I thought guilty. Why are you going to settle? You know that you're
yeah,
not going to win, so you're like, hey, let's settle, and you pay a huge fee as well. If the settlement was a
yeah,
little bit lower, maybe you're like, okay, we might not win, but this would drag my name on social media and all these things, trying to quash it, basically.
yeah, yeah.
We have Mr. Patrick here, who is with us now. What's going on, Patrick? How you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Sorry, I'm late. I went shopping and there was traffic, so
I
it took me
say we
so
don't.
long.
I
But
say
I'm
we
here.
we, we don't want your excuses. I say we know
Are you
Africans. We're
shut
used to
up? Just
Africans.
let me
I say
let
it's all
me
right. It's
let
okay.
me educate you for a minute. It doesn't mean because you've got one of those studio mics, you have to hold them like this. I also have one. You leave it on the table. It's not a
Hala
radio. You don't
hala
have to put it here.
hala
Yeah?
hala
One
hala
time, this
hala
guy
hala
thinks
hala.
because he has got a studio mic, you have to go like this. Like this, man. Nah.
Hala
Put
hala
it down.
hala 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 hala
Down.
hala
Just put
hala
it down.
hala man. Hala
Yeah.
man. Hala man.
I'll move. I'll move.
Move
Yeah,
to
you
the
have
yeah.
you can put it down. It doesn't have to be on your chin, man. Huh?
No, I'm not holding it, bro. It's on a
We
stand.
don't
Man,
like
It's on
it.
a stand.
man, I can even hear your stomach. You know that what you're digesting because of how
Yeah,
fast that is.
but right, because you need to see it. You need to see that it's good a good mic. You know what I mean? That's the whole point. You know that I've got toner mic. That I got toner mic.
Let me get back to what we were doing. Okay. We started the Diddy story, Patrick. So the Diddy story here, we said, look, the first part we said, um, in November 2023, Cassie filed a lawsuit. In this lawsuit, she accused him of years of abuse and an instance of rape. The lawsuit was settled after 24 hours. Obviously, said, look, after he saw this, he said, no, this guy's dodgy, man. This guy's dodgy. So, what were your thoughts when you saw that and you saw the settlement? It was like 30 million. Boom. What were your thoughts when you first saw that? Basically, chat. This is a
Let,
question for
let's
you.
let's be honest, right? Let's be honest. From the beginning, this man Diddy, there's a lot of things that have been happening for before all this that you question them, but when you question them, you sat there and say, why is anybody not saying anything? Let me start off with the Usher thing. When he took Usher to that camp of his, when Usher was 17, then he took Justin Bieber and he said, oh, Bieber's parents gave me permission. What are you doing with a 15-year-old in a camp where apparently he was saying, oh, there's going to be women here. This is a fantasy for a kid like this. But you could see how uneasy the kid is. But you've been seeing these things from Diddy, that video where he was dressed as the Joker and how he was behaving. You've seen short clips of him doing weird stuff where he was hanging Wale off the balcony. So I sat there as a human being and say, why does Diddy get away with this? But I think let's all be guilty. We all just sat there and say it is what it is. It's Hollywood. So when I heard Cassie say that, because let's not pretend as if we were not seeing things already. I think you guys, there was a video I saw a long time ago when I was in Malawi. That video, I won't mention it here, but it was Cassie. But the way he was treating her in that video, you can tell that this was never a good relationship. And every time you look at Cassie, even in the interview he had with her at the awards, she was speaking and the man was looking at her. And when he looked at her, she stopped what she was saying. She switched, and he held her hand, sort of trying to say, next time, don't say this. So when she did that appeal, I was with her. And the way he settled, you could know that there was already evidence. You don't settle 30 million. Man, people settled 5 million. They settled 2 million. 30 was too much. 30 was like hush money. And then what makes me laugh about all this thing is apparently he paid them, Apparently he paid them never to release that footage.
Oh, really?
So
The hotel?
Diddy. Apparently, yeah, the hotel thing. So he knew that this would never come out. So they had already been paid, apparently, according to sources, and it still came out. Man, this guy, for the fact that he's
So
still around, and then he came with that stupid apology of his, I'm flabbergasted, man. I'm shocked that this man is still walking around shirtless, waving the cameras. Go
but
ahead, man.
is he gonna get his refund? So because obviously when he was paying that, he must have signed something. You know what I mean?
Full time.
Can I
No,
ask you something? Let me ask you
yes,
something. If you did
yes,
something like that, right, and even though you paid them, do you
yeah.
think you'd start asking for refunds? It goes public also. It will go
No,
public.
yeah, but no, but I know. Listen, guys, I'm not
I
backing you
get
up,
where
but
you're,
I'm
I
not.
get where you're coming from, but it's hush money.
Yeah,
So if you go asking for a refund, somebody might spill that he actually paid. So P Diddy doesn't want people to know he actually paid. These are just leaks saying he did pay. So if you verify
because
yourself by going back,
because you could be by law, right? That's how they work. By law, he could be being sued for something, but he can also sue them that you signed this waiver that I have with your signature. You guys agreed that you never release this video, even though the video is actually proof of something that he has done. He can also turn around and say, "You guys signed this, and we agreed that if you never comes out, this is what you have to do." Is it
I
that?
have a
Is not that
feeling.
how they work?
I have a
Is not.
feeling looking at how it is, I think he didn't even get to sign. It was one of those things,
Yeah,
pay, just keep quiet. Pay, just
yeah,
keep quiet.
yeah, yeah.
We don't
No,
want,
I mean,
because if you sign, those are the same things that somebody can show that, oh, even though you signed, somebody say, oh, but he did sign. So later on, it can also be used as,
I
oh,
mean,
you
I
actually
mean,
did it.
did this? There's a rumor that this video was released by the police because of the raid. They got it on the raid, and then they sent it to the media. They're not saying it was the hotel. They're saying that
Yeah,
Diddy had a copy of this video, and the police found it and they released it. I don't know if it's true or not, but these are the rumors basically. I wanted to carry on with the timeline. So obviously, the first time when this came, everyone was just like, this is unbelievable. Let's see what happens. Because I think a lot of people were thinking, yo, Diddy's big. He's got a big corporation. He's got loads of lawyers. He'll just beat this case, isn't it? Like he beat most cases that were thrown on him. Then in December 2023, a Jane Doe alleges a gang rape. Now, an anonymous woman who claimed that she was raped by Diddy himself, so allegedly raped by him and others when she was 17 years old. So things start getting serious. Then February, so these things, imagine this guy didn't have a good Christmas because November, just before Thanksgiving, this Cassie thing comes. December, this person says, I was 17, this is what happened. And then
He
February,
deserves, though. He deserves.
oh, February, Rodney Jones accuses him of being part of a Rico enterprise. So basically, I think this is the guy who accused him of, who said he was did his drug mule, wasn't he? If I am not mistaken. So again, if you're not familiar with this whole Rico thing, these are the cases that they normally mount on mob bosses. It's like a conspiracy. So it's a conspiracy to operate in organized crime. So for example, John Gotti was somebody who they got him through a RICO, but then again, John Gotti he committed crimes himself as well, so it was sort of easier to
yeah,
get him. Maybe that's not a great one to compare. But so what they normally do is if they find somebody who's committing crime on your behalf and they can prove they're doing it on your behalf, then you get done for RICO, basically. So
yeah,
that's why they're saying this is a RICO case. So it's quite heavy to bring something on somebody as famous as this, that they're doing this, which is kind of insane. And then in March 2024, federal agents raided his house. So Homeland Security raided Combs' homes in Los Angeles, Miami, linking him to a sex trafficking investigation. This is when now all these you start hearing about this him sort of stepping down from companies and selling stock, Ciroc are not happy and all these things. And then you've got the plane on Twitter, people tracking Diddy's plane, um,
yeah, yeah,
ev- everyone thinking this man is finished. But even in between this, he was doing videos like, if you're not backing me now, then you're not with me, and all these things, so it's insane. Anyway, I'll carry on and then we can comment on the rest. April 2024, his son Christian Combs faces sexual assault allegations. Well, that's a shock. I didn't even know that, you know. And then in May 2024, a video surfaces of him assaulting Cassie in 2016. This video that circulated through CNN. So, guys, then Diddy apologized. Let's not forget, he apologized. He said he's sorry, but the apology, I think it was well summed up by Charlemagne, who said, "You're not really." People were enabling him, That's what he was saying. So I want you to know now, guys, what do you think of this whole thing? What do you think of the apology? What's really going on? Because there are people like Drew who are saying, they're trying he's pissed somebody off and that person is just trying to tear him down, right? Regardless of that, what do you think?
The apology. The apology.
Go ahead.
The apology, first of all, he only apologized because he got caught anyway. He wasn't going to apologize for that. We knew when he said what he said, we knew that he did this anyway. But he apologized because he got caught. You know what I mean? Because there was proof for the video of him beating Cassie in the hotel. You know what I mean? That's simple. The simple reason why. Now, Drew said that pissed somebody off, and some people are just trying to tell him that. Okay, they said, I believe, lads, there's certain things that are true and there's certain things that are shite. Because to me, like, he can't just be the demon of demons of all demons. Like there are, what's your man there? I don't know if you guys, that's what I was talking about. If you've seen the TMZ downfall of Diddy, it's the TMZ documentary that just came out, right?
Not yet.
Yeah. Anyway, just something. There's a guy, I don't know what's his name. He was a producer. He said that Diddy raped him as well, right?
What's his name? Hold on. Yeah, keep going.
Anyway, right? And TMZ, right? It might be wrong, but it might be right. But
Lil Rod,
he was suing. Yes, he was suing that he was raped by Diddy a couple of times, and look and all that, right? But you know that his case was actually thrown out, and you know what? What happened? It actually turned out that his solicitor that he was suing that with is a very famous solicitor that has been doing this to different type of celebrities, just making up, telling someone that is close to someone just to swindle money, basically. You know what I mean? Just extortion, pure extortion. So, and for me, I kind of believe that, come on, these things now, you guys, because you are close to him, you want to take advantage because the shit like this, because somebody has said that I was raped, you want to be a victim again, so you can also extort the guy. You know what I mean? I believe that as well. There is parts where there's truth, and there's parts like there's two sides of the story as well, guys. Of certain things, that they're just some people are literally there just to extort, as you're saying, trying to tear him down worse and worse. You know.
Wow.
That's my take anyway.
What are your thoughts, Mr. Patrick?
I think this guy deserves whatever is happening to him. Even if somebody's setting him up, who cares? We saw that footage. This man, and you know what? I think you and me talked about it outside camera, that the way he beat her. Remember where we were on the PlayStation chat, but like the way he hit her and the fact she didn't respond, she just sat there and took it. It shows that it's somebody that has been done to her multiple times. So basically, she's already scared. She knows what's going to happen. She knows she can't escape. And there's more to that video. I don't know if you guys have seen the rest of the video. There's a part where he's sitting on a chair, shouting at her, and she's sitting on the floor. You know what I mean? Covering herself, and he's shouting at her that why did you escape? Yeah, and she's hiding, and he's like, you thought you could escape, and it's just that apology of his telling us that he's found God, he went to get help. My brother, nobody cares. You can go find all the help you want. I don't think anybody was buying that. I think Charlemagne was right. That guy just did it for his ego, did it for his brand. I think if you're not guilty, this is what I'm saying. If you're not guilty, or you don't have much that's coming at you, why was this guy selling everything? You know what I mean? Why was he selling the shares before his house was split and everything? Yeah. Like he sold things, he put things in his kids' name. I just think this Diddy guy, I'm starting to believe Kanye West, because Kanye said something and we laughed at Kanye because obviously Kanye also says rubbish most of the times. He was talking about Diddy and a few people who they are informants of the FBI, so-called FBI apparently. So he said he will never be touched. He says Diddy will never be touched because no matter whatever bad thing he does, they will not go that far to prosecute him. They did all this, look, and found all this evidence, that video. I'm telling you right now, if that was somebody else in that video and it's not Diddy, I don't think they'll be walking around like Diddy right now, waving around, and then they have the nerve to tell us, the people in that area say, oh, it's time barred. My guy, that beating on video, and how I know that women are supported these days, does it care about time bar? No. I just think like this. Maybe there's truth to what Kanye say, that this man might be protected. So he is protected by higher powers who they are the ones who planted him there to be doing those videos. And maybe this whole thing where they raided his place was just a fact to just take the evidence and pretend as if Diddy is not a snitch, that Diddy did not hand on the stuff. Because apparently, what Kanye was saying is like those videos are just to catch a few predators in Hollywood, you know. So if Diddy might be part of it and snitching, but it's quite sad to see that this man is still around. Even that after that apology, I don't think anyone cared for it, and I can't wait to see this series by 50 Cent. Is it
Yeah.
Diddy? He did it, or yeah,
Did
yeah.
he do it? Did he do it?
Did he do it? Yeah, because I think that's going to expose a lot. Because I hear there's a lot of women that came out, and there's a lot of prostitutes, male and female alike, who apparently have given their statements. Bodyguards, people who worked in the houses, you know, people who saw all these things, people at parties. Let's not forget, this is the same man who shot somebody apparently, and then said it was an accident, and they saw him throwing
No,
away the
yeah,
gun.
no,
Yeah,
And he,
yeah, but
and
yeah, it was
he
the time
told
he was with J Lo.
he told his bouncer to take the rap. You know. He
Yeah,
told
his
his-
bouncer took the rap. It was the time when he was with Jennifer Lopez.
Terrible.
Did you see? I don't know if it's Jamie Foxx or somebody, one of the comedians, said they were making fun of J Lo that time, and she was disappointed. And apparently, I don't know one of the comedians. I just saw a clip. He was talking about this whole Diddy and his temper. He says, uh, the J Lo came to him and approached, and Diddy was standing there like ready to attack, isn't it? And obviously he was apologizing, and he says he was close to J Lo. They were so close before Diddy, so he didn't think she would be that pissed off. But he was looking at Diddy, and it looks like Diddy was about to shoot or
Do
attack. If he
something.
says something, then he says this guy is sort of a scary guy. And now that Wale thing is true, even though Wale was refusing, that he was hanged off a balcony because him and Cassie were
Recording
chatting,
a
you know.
song.
So yeah. And let's not forget that that Prince guy who looks after Drake, I think had to go and talk to Diddy because I think when Drake said something in a song about Bad Boy, Diddy actually went and slapped Drake, and I think it was gonna get violent. It was the Prince guy who went, I think, to speak to him. And then because Prince also has got a sort of status, that's when Diddy went on the radio and Charmaine was asking about it. And he was like, it's all cool, man. I love Drake. It's all good. But overall, according to many, this guy has done so much to many of the artists. And what makes it worse also, it's, you know how Usher, this was his mentor, right? Now, if Diddy was your mentor, Ovita, and they asked Usher in an interview, so you've got a teenage boy right now, and Diddy took you to Diddy camp. When you send your boy to Diddy camp, you should have seen how Usher said no. It's like, no, that would make me a bad father. So what happened to Usher in that Diddy camp? You know what I mean? Anyway.
Questions there. So we've got Mr. Kelvin in the chat here. He says, Ovi Diddy. He says, Ovita says he wants to attend a Diddy party when he grows up. Oh my gosh. He says, would you hang out with Diddy for 1 million, Ovi?
I've asked him, does he know what 1 million is? How many zeros are on 1 million? does he know how many? Do you know how many zeros are on 1 million? Just
Kelvin is like, so you're letting the diddler diddle you for 1 million. Okay. This is not that type of show.
Jesus is Lord.
Of course, Kelvin has to come with the weird questions. We wouldn't want it any different. I think good take, Patrick, on the whole Diddy situation. I think, this Diddy situation is a bit mad. As a person, I'm going to be very, very biased now because, you know, as an artist, I never really respected him because I thought most artists, they wrote for him. They wrote a lot of music for him, but he was always in the forefront going, I'm the guy. I'm the best. What? Okay, I get that you're cocky, but at least give, you know, the people that are helping you a bit of props. You know what I mean? So that's one thing that I just didn't like from the get-go. This whole friendship with Biggie, which is rumored also they were having a little bit of a rift, you know, because Biggie wanted to leave. Then the Jennifer Lopez Shine thing that happened in the club, and then the whole thing about him not giving publishing rights to his artists. Craig Mack, you know, being shunted to the side after he made he started making a bit of noise before Biggie. Like, for me, I just felt like his personality was very so then when you start digging deep, there's that interview Young Jock made. Yeah, he said, I was sat with Cassie and Diddy. Do you know how that haircut? You guys remember that haircut, the one that the Cassie one, cut, thingy to
Yeah,
the side. I don't know what they call
yeah.
it, man. Maybe it's like the Cassie cut or something. Let me just
Fringe, a
find it.
fringe or something like that.
Yeah, yeah. So he was talking about that basically. If you guys remember, he was talking about that. I'm gonna share it. I'm gonna share it now. So this thing, like, people didn't know what was going on, and we were all like, yeah, this Cassie hairstyle looks good. You remember this hairstyle, right? I'm sharing my screen now. This hairstyle here. The
Mm.
story behind it, according to Young Jock, was Diddy just went, "I want you to cut your hair," and she just did it without hesitation. It wasn't even a matter of, "Oh, I think this will look good on you." It was, I've got control over you to a point where I can tell you, cut your hair, you know? Um, so, when you mount all these things, and I'm not surprised that all these things are coming up, I am not surprised at all, because I feel like, this guy has been doing some shady stuff. Yeah, that's what I think. That's what I think on that one. Um, is everything true? Like Ovi was saying, I don't think everything's true. I don't think
No,
everything
man,
is
it's
true.
not.
I think some of it is just defamation, because you could just see like they're trying to mount the pressure. Like, oh, now employees are coming out saying, oh, actually he used to swear at us. Everybody knows
You
Diddy
know what I
swears.
mean? Like that girl,
Everybody
that
knows.
that
Yeah.
girl. Like for example, I forgot what her name. She was in the making the band. She was
Uh,
being interviewed, and she was saying all this and all. But I remember watching making the band. She was really she was a weirdo, and not a weirdo, but she was just. I know, yes, there's things that were happening behind closed doors. That's what she said. But like,
yeah.
she was a bit too much. You know what I mean? She was a bit too much. I remember making the band. To me, I was like, wow, this one, she's annoying. Also, sometimes. Well, don't judge me, And then they're coming out, oh, he did this, he did that. Of course, there are scenes, but that was a TV show. There are scenes where he'll be angry at them. Hey, what do you want to be? What, you know what I mean? That was a show. You know what I mean? Like there's certain things that, like for example, like I feel for the guy as much as he has done bad stuff, but there's certain things away that are being thrown at. Like guys, if you see that documentary, have you seen the interview with Suge Knight? Have you seen the interview with Suge Knight?
Yes, yes, I have.
Yeah,
He didn't really bash him, but
he
he
didn't
said,
bash him.
but
He
he
made
said
sense of certain things.
yeah, yeah, yeah. He said sometimes, when you piss off certain people that helped you, then it starts becoming a problem. I think that, yeah, sure. I think Suge Knight
Yeah,
was kind of pointing some things
and he
there.
and they say people like there's kids there being in the front of this stuff and all that. You know what I mean? That some of this I'm just like, no, this is now just bullshit. You just want to destroy the him, his family and everybody else that is around him. You know what I mean? Like,
Well, it's a mad one. It's a mad one. Guys in the chat, let us know what you think of the Diddy story. You guys are gonna watch this later. Hit the comments below. Let us know what you think and how's this gonna end up. Do you think Diddy did everything? How are you feeling about it? How do you feel about Cassie? Because I think a lot of people are now apologizing to Cassie and thinking we didn't see the signs. All these songs she was bringing out, you got a long way to go and stuff like that. It's like, yo, official girl. Stuff like that. Let's move on to the part I'm sure Patrick's been looking forward to. This has been in WhatsApp groups. This has been a problem. Yeah, I'm talking about the Kendrick and Drake beef. It's been a problem
the,
in WhatsApp
no,
groups,
just mention it that the beef that Kendrick Lamar won. That's how the topic you should say.
and this is
Not
how the chat was going in there. So Patrick is a big Drake fan, big Drake fan. I remember speaking to Kelvin initially when they dropped. I think was it when he dropped like that, and Kelvin was saying, but Kendrick doesn't have a track record of beef," and I was like, yeah, but Kendrick sort of is from Compton, and you wouldn't want to underestimate people from Compton, and obviously Patrick threw out, so just like, yo, Drake's gonna come. He'll bring something. Don't worry. He was like in the chat. If you could see this chat, honestly, he's like, yo, Drake's coming. Drake's coming. So let me just give you a quick timeline of this Drake and Kendrick beef, right? October
When is
20.
it? When is it coming now? Because is it still coming, or what's the story now?
You can ask at the end. You can ask at the end. So
You
the
can ask her.
timeline here is Drake and J. Cole collaborated on a song called First Person Shooter. And in that song, J. Cole said, who was it? He said they said they're the big three of rap. He said him, J. Cole. So J. Cole, Drake, and Kendrick said they're the big three of rap. And then obviously Drake also went on to say, the numbers I'm doing, I'm gonna beat Michael Jackson, right? Then in March 2024, Kendrick Lamar featured. Well, no. Kendrick Lamar featured on Future and Metro Boomin's song called "Like That," and in that song, he countered the big three line. He said, "Screw the big three. It's big me. I'm the big guy. You guys are below me." And then obviously he said, "Prince outlived Mike Jackson." So it was a direct diss at both J. Cole and Kendrick Lamar, right? J. Cole then was first to
No,
respond.
J. Cole and Drake.
J. Cole was the first to respond. Drake hadn't
No, but you
responded.
said you said it was a beef to J. Cole and
Oh
Kendrick
yeah,
Lamar.
oh sorry,
Gonna
yeah,
be a
J. Cole
diss.
and Drake. J. Cole and Drake.
Yeah.
Okay. So then J. Cole dropped a response, dropped a few responses actually it was in his album, right? And all the J. Cole fans in the WhatsApp group started going crazy. Honestly, if the hardest fans to deal with are J. Cole fans. Like, oh my gosh. They want you bringing dictionaries out and all these things. Like he actually meant this, so yeah, you saw academics going crazy for that, going, yo, this is gonna be a sick beef. Then I think a few days later, J. Cole apologizes and says, you know what, if I respect you. I'm sorry. I'll be the bigger man. I'll take the punches, sort of thing. And the internet just changed their opinions of J. Cole from that point. Now, in March, Drake responds while he's on tour. He sort of responded while he was after he performed. He said, "I'm still standing here. I'm still a big man." And then April 2024, he released Push Ups, right? In
Is that
this
the one
song,
they wrote for him? Yeah.
oh my god, can I finish? In this song,
Okay. Okay.
he mocks Kendrick's stature and targets other artists in his diss Push Up. So this is the song where he went his 20 versus 1, isn't it? Sort of thing where he said everyone's coming for me, so I'm just gonna go for everyone. And then he drops a song called Tailor Made Freestyle, where he featured Tupac and Snoop Dogg, the idols of Kendrick, of course, to mock him. Then Kendrick responds with a song called Euphoria, um, where he was trying to sort of talk about people that are in his, people that are leaking in his circle. And then he followed that up with a song called 616 in LA, which had significant things to point out on that. It just kept going, honestly. And then Drake released a song called Family Matters, which I think over time these things were getting a bit personal. Like they were getting a bit personal. Did Family Matters come before Meet the Grahams? I think it was Meet the Grahams first, wasn't it? So he dropped
No. It was Family Matters, and then
and
this
then Meet
man dropped Meet the Grams
and then
immediately.
Meet the Grahams. Yeah. Then
Yeah.
Kendrick immediately responded with Meet the Grahams. So they started getting a bit more personal. And then finally Kendrick drops Not Like Us, the song that everybody is dancing to right now, which I think that came straight after Family Matters, actually. Not Like Us came out straight after, right? Like an hour after.
An hour after, yeah.
This was like on a Saturday. Everyone's waking up and they're finding that Drake dropped a song, and then boom, an hour later, Kendrick drops a song. And then the next day, Drake drops another song called The Hard Part 6 to respond to what Kendrick was saying, that, you guys are grooming minors and all these things, to sort of say, look, where's your proof? They said they planted the evidence and all of that. I wanted to just give you a quick timeline of what happened. Like, they were back and forth. Like this beef has been back and forth. It's been quite personal. Drake's spoken about, Kendrick's children not being his and the real father being some guy who who was in Kendrick's, who was same label,
Debris.
in the same label as Kendrick. He also, he also spoke about, what did he speak? What did Drake say? I mean, what else did Drake say? So obviously spoke about his height, spoke about his shoe size, and spoke about these songs that these songs that he does that people need to understand. Like he drops triple or double entendres that people need dictionaries to understand and stuff like that. So let's start with you, Mr. Ovi. Right? What are your thoughts on this Drake Kendrick beef? Who do you think won?
It is simple. This is
Patrick
not a
drinking Drake's
questioning matter.
juice. You said Kendrick.
Ah, Kendrick, man. K. Kendrick.
So why
Kendrick.
did
Just aced him.
in your opinion, why did Kendrick win?
In my opinion, I think Kendrick won because even though like his songs not everything I would understand of every single line, but they were banging, man. That shit was banging. When you hear one simple small line, that shit was banging. I swear to God, like I haven't listened to a full song of Drake's diss tracks back to Kendrick. I haven't listened to a full one.
Mm.
That's how boring it was to me. Like I was just like, come on, Drake.
I mean,
Like he just doesn't have the vibe of beefing. To me, I just think like
wow.
it doesn't sound like someone is dissing. You know what I mean? That's why I was like, I'm not gonna bother anyway. I don't think it's gonna be anything nice anyway. That's simple.
Wow.
You see, this is what I was telling you, and this is why I keep winning some of these things. What I have noticed is this, right? From the beginning, even Kelvin said it, even though Kelvin was switching sides throughout all this. Even
He was
that
trying
was
to he was trying to help you just for the sake of
no. Let me tell you
No,
something. Let me tell you something.
it's true.
The issue with all this situation is, first of all, Kendrick is seen as a messiah in America. He's their messiah. He's their black messiah. He's that guy. Now, I think you don't understand why they went and dug Kendrick instead. Why all those guys who were planning to go after Drake went to dig Kendrick? Because he's like the loved guy. So he's the guy in America who's their black messiah. That's why if you listen to Drake's diss, he keeps saying this is the black messiah because he's the guy they all dig right now. Kendrick, he comes out, this is their messiah. Now, if you know America, I was speaking to an American guy who he sent me voice notes. I sent them to the chat. I don't know if you heard them. He told me from the beginning, is like, your boy Drake is gonna lose this no matter whatever he does because this is Kendrick. Kendrick in America is that guy. Now, as you speak yourself, you've just spoken like most Americans. They didn't want to listen to Drake. They listened to Drake's music, but they didn't want to listen to
yes.
anything Drake did. But guess what? Drake has done beef in the past. Two birds with one stone. Where people, when they were on his D, that time they were like, "Oh, this guy, man, he breaks people." The thing about it is, if you listen to all the songs, even the hard part 6, when people were saying, this is weak, it wasn't weak. This is what you do to rebuttal when somebody says something. If you talk about family matters, if you hear the third part or anything he said, even the middle track where he disses everybody, that's hardcore stuff. But the thing about people is, as soon as you don't like Drake or you've got a bit of a bad taste of Drake, everybody keeps saying what you're saying of Vita. Even I was at work, some guy just admitted straightforward at work. I think I went to a work function. They just invited me to just go do a building thing, a management building thing. So he was like, "Man, how have you been?" I was like, "I've been sick." He's like, "I know you're a Drake fan. How was it, everything?" Then he's like, "Man, let me be honest with you. I was waiting for this. I wanted somebody to kill Drake because I've seen him for years. So I didn't even listen to his tracks. I didn't listen to Kendrick's tracks and go on." So I was like, how can you make a decision? Let me ask you something, right? I believe to the date of today, this is just me, because I'm a Kendrick fan, and I even said I've always wanted to see K. Dot come out because he's been threatening people for years that I can kill your career. I'm not that guy you have to mess with. But what I saw in this is, first of all, as I said, America doesn't like Drake, and it's normal. As the American guy told me, we don't like outsiders here. Nobody has loved Drake being an outsider. The only reason why they've accepted him is because some of the artists were giving him like they were giving him, what do you call it again? They were giving him like the keys to be allowed there, but they were not happy that for years the Canadian was the one taking over. But what I've also seen in this is people who hated Drake just came out and straightforward did not give any of even the good tracks good. Only person I saw was like Wantari coming on the group chat saying, "Okay, his song, at least he's done something. But those people in that group, like Wanugu, they don't even Drake
Wow,
as a good
dropping
piece.
names.
Oh, I'm telling you,
Drop,
even
Yeah,
when
dropping.
but
Drake said,
no, but
yeah, but
listen.
uh,
That Drake is a good artist, right? He's a good artist. To say that we just hate Drake is it's not gonna be accurate, okay? He just needs to stick to his shit. I think beef wise he doesn't manage Kendrick. To be honest, like no, when I say not to hear it, I'll start the song, but I just ain't feeling it. I just ain't feeling it. He's got better. He's got. I trust me. He's got better music than Kendrick. Oh yeah, man. All like there's certain songs that are better compared to loads of music that Kendrick. But in this beef way,
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Me when it's just starting, even the song when it's starting, I'm just like, and I might should I even try to concentrate and listen to this because it doesn't sound like there's anything that's gonna come
so what
interesting.
do you say of that trade? That because I also had to, I was a bit disappointed because as I said, I'm a Kendrick fan, so I was looking for a sort
Mm,
of type of Kendrick. His first track, do you know the first part of it? I almost switched it
mm,
off, but just because I
okay.
love beef, had to sit there. But
And
I think a
Yeah.
few people
Yeah.
even say it online is like that first part. I don't know what he was doing, but then he switches it or switches it. So what I'm
Yeah.
telling you is, all these guys during this beef, I think everybody had a weak beef, had a weak song. Some of the songs were like not as hard, but there was also good songs that came out of this. I'm telling you, I think if they're not like us, didn't come out, which obviously I think it was smart from Kendrick that he brought the party beat before Drake. Because I think somebody warned Kendrick. Somebody said, I bet the people are saying it's Joe Biden told him that if you don't drop a party beat on this boy and he
Drake
drops
will
the
drop
party
one
beat
on me.
instead, you are in trouble. And it's good that he dropped a sort of West Coast one because if he tried to drop a commercial one, he's not that great, Kendrick, at that. But somebody was like, I think it was Joe Biden or somebody, I think, warned him behind at the academics, so saying somebody from the rap place told Kendrick that, my friend, I know you've dropped what's that again? The grams. The
Beat the
daughter thing
gram.
is fake. Please drop a party beat before Drake comes to the party beat, because if you don't, if he comes to the party beat, they'll be singing it all summer. So that was a good chess move. But if you look at this beat properly, Ovita, and you say you love beef, you can't tell me that Family Matters, there's no bars in there. And if you heard the last part, till the date of today, people play it. And even the one where he dissed Rick Ross and everybody, the second track where he goes to what do you call that name again? That Americans, that UK stuff. Is it drill? He went on a
Real.
drill beat. You can't tell me that that's not somebody spitting and breaking people down. I am happy with both. Euphoria only came out, I was like, it doesn't make sense, but it made sense to me after I found out exactly what he was
What he
aiming
was
for.
talking about.
And
Yeah.
also, I understand why he started slow and going up. It was a cooking session. So
Building it up.
I love both, but I admitted that Drake lost this one because of They're Not Like Us. Because as soon as you put a party beat that keeps on playing wherever you go, even in Canada, in your country, I'm sorry, what else can you do? So maybe
I
there's not much you can do.
I didn't think you were gonna admit that here. Yeah. So you guys heard that. You guys heard that, huh? You
I
heard
just
that.
come to let y'all know, put some respect on my name. Put some respect on it. You know what I'm saying? My name, put some respect on it. Put some respect on it.
No, I don't mean like,
And
don't
I
get
ain't
me wrong.
saying
Don't get me
no
wrong. Bar for when they're doing the bars and what they were saying, both guys were disrespectful, because for somebody to tell you that your child doesn't belong to you, and to find out that that guy who is that claiming keeps liking the pictures of the children. Peter, this man has no shame. This debt-free guy, he likes the pictures of the children and he puts love
And he
emojis.
puts love
And
emojis on
Hendrix's
every
wife
one of them.
puts the picture. So, and you're like,
Yeah.
oh, this guy,
Yeah.
and he hasn't denied it till now, because there's
Yeah.
rumors that Debt Freeze is gonna come out and deny. Debt Freeze is not denying
He's
shit.
not
The guy
denying anything.
is still putting love emojis. And
Yeah.
nah.
Yeah.
Anyway, it was a good beef. It was a good beef.
So Kelvin says Ovita doesn't know what he's saying. Now it will seem like K dot fans are daft. Yeah, okay. So let me chime in a little bit. Who do I think won? I think K dot won. K dot he had the upper hand with how quickly he was also releasing the music, and how artistic he was with it. So personally, I like the hit 'em up type beef, the I'm coming straight for you. This is what I'm gonna say. These are the stories and whatnot. So at the beginning, when I heard Euphoria, I said, oh, come on. I thought come on, Kendrick. Do you know what I mean? But it seemed like both camps were just releasing these type of songs, and then when Drake dropped Family Matters, I believe, I was like, this guy's come to the chat now, because that song was very good. Like Patrick said, if it ended on that song, Drake would have won this beef. He could have, not by a lot, but he could have won it because the
Or this
lines.
also, or me and Kelvin said this off camera. We said if he put out those two, those two he started with, he cut that third one, and if Kendrick brought the Grahams and that third one, he threw it after the Grahams. Where then he starts, Kendrick just opened his mouth because there was a lot of disrespect in that. So just that Kendrick did well with 1 hour. That was smart.
And that was the part he killed him with, because again, Drake said it's 20 versus 1, and then Kendrick hits him back and says actually it's 1 versus 20 because it's told, obviously we know that there are rumors that Drake doesn't write his music, most of his music, and that was one of the arguments in the WhatsApp groups. We were looking at the credits to see how many writers are doing in this song. You'd be surprised if you go check back to back to see how many writers are in that song. But I'm not saying that Kendrick hasn't had writers in his song, he probably has, but the credibility about a beef song, it's like you're getting people to fight for you, if that makes sense. So that was the argument Kendrick was posing to him. He said, actually, it's not all these guys versus you. It's me versus you and your writers, basically. There were certain things that he said that were sort of off as well. We got to say that as well. The daughter thing, still hasn't been proven today if it was accurate. All these other things are still allegations, but they'll still hit home. If you start talking about things that were only in the camp and then all of a sudden people know what it is, then the art cover of They're Not Like Us is literally Drake's house, and the fact that that song was popular, it was produced by a West Coast producer. It had all these lines in there, that A minor chord and stuff like that. Literally, he just took it and ran. But otherwise, I think both artists really, really had something to say, I would say K. Dot more than Drake, but Drake brought something. It's not that he just came empty-handed. He had something. Because what I was afraid of was that Drake would just come and say, "I sell more of the records than you. I got more tours than you. I have more hit singles than you." Because that was what's his name, J. Cole's approach, and I didn't like it. I was like, "Come on, it's artists versus artists, go at each other," sort of thing. So I think the beef was good. It started soft, but it was good.
Low key. These guys were like even the minor thing that was a good bar. And then when he did the hard part 6, we buffed the minor thing. He buffed
B major.
I think it went over a lot of people's heads. Look, these guys were during this beef they were insulting each other, but when they buffed something that somebody said, it was like they were doing it in a very good thing. And even when Kelvin was saying, a lot of people did not understand when he said, "All these bars will still go over Kendrick's head, no matter whatever I say." When Kendrick came back, I think, and said something also to him in one of the verses. These guys were still going with each other when like deep verses. It's just, I think, I said, Kendrick won, especially with Like Us. But I just think from the beginning, as my boy Tab was saying, this man, I finally saw that this man is hated. I didn't know he was hated. I used to know that Drake is hated, but I didn't know they hate him. No, you don't get it. Trust me, I'm saying that
people don't like, people don't like
the thing
Drake.
about it is, let me tell you something. It's the same thing as Malawi. Let's say a Zambian comes to Malawi, a Zambian, isn't it? Dominates for 20 years. So I don't blame them. I said the same thing that in Malawi, I would also be dancing to that Zambian music. The guy is staying in Malawi, but he's dominating every time it's him on the charts. Some artists, even as Kanye said, we went to London and we were tired of Drake being the top of the chart and we wanted his elimination and we wanted to make sure it's there. So you could see from the beginning that this guy is against, but he should have listened to Wayne also at the beginning that some of these guys are not with you. Jay-Z told him, Eminem told him that these guys are not with you. So you were right when you said Drake sometimes could have stuck into a certain area. Maybe he could have been safe that when these things happen. But obviously the market is America also. You cannot just stick to Canada. You also have to America. So he had to be. But you were right, Ovita, because Wayne told him, Eminem told him that be careful. One day these guys will come back after you. Jay-Z told him these same guys who you are putting up will come after you. But it is what it is. I don't know if this, though, I don't know if we're going to discuss this. I don't know if this has done enough to completely say Drake is not going to be one of the big artists.
No. Drake is gonna come out and sing a song where people love. That's not
now
beef, and you're gonna like it. It's gonna be nice.
He did one. People
He did
hated
one
it,
recently, and people hated it.
But now people are playing it. Now it's going
really
going up to chat. Yeah, it is.
I heard that song and I said, "This is rubbish." What was it again? I forgot what it was. It's like,
do you know your man is it doesn't do? It's like a spoofer. It's not like a serious guy. The guy who featured him, I think it's a comedian or something. But this is what I'm saying. That
I think he did Wagwan. What's the song? What's the song called? Wagwan something. He did a rendition of Haley.
But can I ask something though? Okay, so let's say for instance, okay, this beef has happened, right? And obviously Drake is coming out with an album after I think Kendrick's album. I still don't feel personally, because I have listened to K-Dot for so long and I loved Mr. Morales and people hated it. I don't know why people hated Mr. Morales. I like it, and people say it tanked. That's why that's why J. Cole saying your album tanked. Everybody keeps saying, but it's a good song and it's a good body of work. But the funny thing about Americans, and even as that guy from America told me, is like, even after this Kendrick thing where he's won this beef and they're putting him as the Messiah, and these Rick Ross guys were giving Kendrick information or these other artists to make sure that they damage Drake, you will find that Kendrick will still not sell. He says,
exactly. No, yeah, but that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, because that's what I was saying, that Drake can stick to what he does and he's good at it. He's absolutely great at it, bro. He's great at it because he is good at what he does. You know what I mean? What he's experienced to do. He's the type of person that makes music for everybody.
For the club goers.
You know? Well, yes, for every single human being. Well, Kendrick Lamar is only certain type of people that will actually listen to. Like, everyone will listen to certain songs of Kendrick Lamar, but there's more songs of Drake that you listen to than, Kendrick. You know that kind of way?
Yeah. That's true. This whole thing was entertaining, as I said. It was very, very entertaining. But personally, I also like Patrick said, I also realized how much the industry doesn't like Drake. I just think he fell off. I think like his new music's kind of trash. But,
yeah, it's not that great. It's just even the new album, like the All for the Dogs. It was until he dropped the 7 tracks. Yeah. Remember the bonus tracks? It was the bonus tracks that what we were looking for. Like when you name your album All for My Dogs, even somebody say when those reviewing that, why didn't you drop this type of flavor? Because when he dropped the 7 tracks of Vita, there was one with 21 Savage, one with J. Cole. One he said, one actually is a hit. It's called You Broke My Heart. And it's actually on YouTube. It got high bars. All for the Dogs was supposed to be something like that. And that's what he said in those 7 tracks. But that other album, I don't know what he was doing. That's why I think when Joe Biden said stop hanging out with these young artists, because I think they're trying to flavor that. But we'll see anyway. I can't wait for Kendrick's, because I'm waiting for Kendrick's album. It was supposed to be May. May is finished and Kendrick hasn't dropped. So I'm not sure because they said he was going to drop in May. So I don't know when he's dropping, to be honest. And as I said, I hope the industry, these guys, these futures and them, they start featuring Kendrick more, because you went and picked him up. Don't just say you picked up this boy just to use him as a 2. As the guy said that they might have just used him as a 2, and now they are back. They all try to get back on top. You find Future want to get the number 1. But Mr. Rick Ross, let me say this to Mr. Rick Ross, if you ever watch this, I don't think you're ever getting a good song, because only Drake, when Drake features on your song, that's the only time your song is hot. Going forward, continue performing at prom nights, Mr. Rick Ross.
Wow.
Wow, man.
God. Oh my gosh. For what is it? For my dogs getting buried, that's a K with all these 9s. Brother. Bam. Yeah, no, I'm honestly, as Patrick has summarized it, I am surprised that you have come as a respectable Drake fan, because I thought you were going to come with fire and say, regardless, Drake won. But
no, you have to like, as I say, look, as I say to you today, and which obviously just shows that certain people, there's just too much favoritism. Even the Hard Part 6, some people say he's crying, but you have to answer. Even Charlemagne said it, that he's responding and he's trying to respond to what you guys wanted. But all I was expecting is after he responds like that, right? And he has to come in. If he came in with the heat before, I think he was gonna be good. But I think maybe his camp just said, "Brah, just leave it. It's not worth it," you know. But you know what? Let's. I want to also leave it here. As much as people keep saying Drake is soft on this and this, the guy has still responded to people. Even throughout his albums, he's responded to so many people who've gone after him, and he still holds his own, you know. And regardless that maybe he lost the Pusha T and maybe he's lost this one, at least Drake does something. Because I've seen artists who call themselves gangsters and they get dissed a lot and they don't do anything at all. So anyway,
that is true. That is very true. So Drake recently has deleted all the posts relating to the Kendrick Lamar beef. Why has he done that? You know, from the outside looking in, I'm thinking he's looking at it and saying, "You know what? I lost anyway. Just get rid of everything." You know, it must have gotten to him. You know, this not like us thing, because weather channels play not like us. You know, like honestly.
Yeah, but now I also hear that YouTubers are complaining now that Kendrick thing that I'll remove the copyright was not 100%. Some people got strikes, so there was those debates. So they were like, did the industry just do it for did they just do it for a short while? Because some people are claiming, oh, they did. Then some YouTubers are actually doing a whole, a screenshot saying you're lying. Here's my copyright. So apparently, this, you know what? Both these guys, let me not lie. I bet those bots, first of all, in this beef, and also there was a lot of buying of people. Do you know why? Because some YouTubers are saying, some YouTubers are saying, he told us it's for copyright. Here's my copyright. Because they were arguing. The YouTubers were arguing. Say with the big YouTuber, right? Someone say, why are you capping? I think this guy is bought. And the guy's like, how dare you say that? It's like, look at this. We're getting copyrights and you didn't get copyrights. So I don't know, man. It's just that when these beefs happen between these two big guys, and for the fact that also, if I talk about the bot thing, where the bots is, regardless how much you hate somebody, there is no way, like Family Matters, some of the dislikes on it where just even YouTube said we've never seen dislikes like this. So that was just unreal. Hot Pot 6, the dislikes, you're like, somebody said these are bots. Somebody admitted that. Even Kakademis was like, I bet you those were bots. So there was both sides playing. Both sides were playing something.
Oh my gosh. That's fair.
What if we just found out that all these guys have been planning all this and they are right now talking on the phone, chilling like, hey, man, that was cool, wasn't it?
Yeah, but it was still good for hip hop, even if they made it up. But whatever it is, it was still good for hip hop. Hip hop needed this. There was too much of crying music, twerking music, bloody nonsense music, like all these things that are coming out now. Have you seen the birthday videos of kids getting twerked on and stuff? Like, you know, pop culture, hip hop, it was going towards stupidity and all these things. This is my opinion.
That's why Ice Cube just came out and said there's never been a beast track better than No Vaseline, bro.
Yeah, but that's back in the days. You can't say those things anymore these days. Like you can disrespect, but you can't start talking about people getting done in the backside. So you can't say those things anymore. But what I can say
still,
is,
those two bad things in this. Him saying that I feel sorry for your grandfather. He should have put a condom on. That's disrespect, bro. You know what I mean?
I know, but you know what I can say is, and I know there was a lot of J. Cole fans trying to get
telling the son that I feel sorry for your grandfather.
I know. But I'm saying there's a lot of J. Cole fans who were trying to come out. They said, "Oh, J. Cole, sorry, big up to you." Nah, I'm sorry. Because J. Cole also came with a track and it's trash. He came with a trash track recently, and this whole thing where he backed out. My friend, if J. Cole backed out from the beginning, I could have said, okay, I get it. He doesn't want to do anything. Yeah, but you don't diss and then back up. So I'm sorry, till the date of today, if you say the winner of all this obviously is Kendrick, then we're putting Kendrick at number 1 and we're still putting Drake at number 2. J. Cole, you're out. We're still looking for number 3. No, we're looking for number 3. I also wanted to put A$AP Rocky, and A$AP Rocky was dissed in the dress track. I was like, no, A$AP, you're gone. Then I wanted to put Big Sean. Big Sean, at least Big Sean, I don't know. I rate him. I rate Big Sean. But let's just say right now.
No, but guys, J. Cole, you can't. J. Cole, Draco, I think you can't put him in there anymore. Yeah, because what he did,
He's
it's
done.
like,
He's done. He's done.
yeah, you can't do
You
that.
did.
Like his music, don't get me wrong, his music is still people are gonna listen to his music. People like his music, but when it comes to beef, there's no one who does that. Like you can just imagine 50 Cent and Jaru. 50 Cent pulled out "Get Rich or Die Trying" and then goes on radio. I'm sorry, bro, I shouldn't have done that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
uh,
yeah. Eh,
that's
anyway,
literally what he did. You know.
exactly. Anyway, people, thank you very much for joining us. I want to say thank you to Mr. Patrick, Mr. Busy Man, Mr. Busy Man, finally getting back to walking and the gym and stuff like that. We're happy to see that,
Mm.
boss.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
Thank you for joining us, man. Ovi, too nice. Thank you very much, guys in the chat.
Yeah,
Mr.
man.
Joven,
Looking
Gunjan,
like straight bozos.
every everybody on Twitter, everybody on Facebook. Make sure you smash the like at the end of this, guys. Thank you very much. Have a good weekend and take it easy.
It's so coming. Oh.